A diet to treat yeast infection. If you believe that yeast infection is something that you only get from direct contact with someone that has it, then think again. There are a number of possible causes of yeast infection. Among the possibilities include using oral contraceptive pills, taking oral steroids, about to get your period, being a diabetic, use of applications like soap, douche, hygiene products, and wearing tight, damp, and/or warm clothing. There are a number of solutions to treat the infection, but unknown to some, having the correct diet to treat yeast infection is also as important. Detoxing, that would be the more appropriate term when it comes to a yeast infection diet. Yeast infection is a direct result of an overgrowth in some areas of a natural occurring microorganism, or Candida albicans, as it's known in the scientific community. There may be some variations in the suggested diet, but most often than not, with a strict adherence to the regimen, it is possible to encounter some relief from the infection as early as 3 weeks. One of the basic necessities in diet programs is drinking adequate amounts of water. Water is important as an aspect of detoxing. It helps flush out the toxins inside the body. It has also been suggested that fresh fruit juices and even green tea be added to the liquid intake, but emphasis is given to drinking at least 8 glasses of water per day. It is also important to eat food that is fresh. It would be best to avoid processed and highly fatty foods, not only for your yeast infection, but for your general health as well. Don't overcook your food. Foods have a tendency to lose much of their nutrients when heat is applied, so be sure to cook your food just right. Steamed and sautéed would be the ideal cooking preparations. Vegetables don't need cooking, just make it a salad and you're ready to go. However, we do suggest that you avoid eating sweet vegetables like carrots, corn, potatoes, onions, and sweet potatoes. Eat a lot of garlic. Garlic contains antibacterial properties which help in eliminating the overgrowth of yeast. Be generous with your fresh greens and limit your intake of meat. Fish, beef, lamb, poultry, and eggs are okay in moderation. It has been suggested that an ideal serving of meat should be no larger than the size of your palm. Sometimes there are other foods that you would like to include in your diet. Eating the foods you like will not affect much of your diet, as long as you eat them in moderation and in relatively small portions. Yogurt is something that you could add, as well as small servings of brown rice or buckwheat. For condiments, sea salt is okay, as well as pure virgin olive oil. In fact, you can be liberal with the use of olive oil. Fresh ginger can be a good condiment for your yeast problem as well. Plus, you can use it in a number of dishes, like salads, tofu, meat dishes, and soups. Not only does it contain properties that might help treat the infection, but is generally good for your digestion as well. A good diet to treat yeast infection is a necessary step in the general treatment of the infection. You must learn to be healthy when it comes to your hygiene and the food you eat.